While much of the conference was focused on how to, on the one hand, remove some of our fossil fuel emissions and replace it with clean energy that doesn't have those emissions, and that's central to our strategy. We also talked some about the importance of preserving our natural heritage, our landscapes, our forests, because they play a big role as well.
Our clean energy innovation economy is being mangled by a maze of mandates and is idling through an idiocracy of incentives. Our investors and innovators are awash in a tidal wave of rent-seeking, crony capitalism, and moral hazard.
This has become an extremely partisan conversation. Getting to nonpartisan conversations and issues is really, really important to move anything forward, going forward, regardless of the makeup of the presidency and the Congress.
If I have one policy to recommend to you, sir, and there was an incredible debate earlier today among a prior set of panelists at a conference I attended, make electricity markets competitive. Quarantine the monopoly in the electricity system to the distribution wires and unleash the rest.
People's supply chains and investments is a way to have a nonpartisan conversation about the risk of climate. You can get people past acceptance of the science, sort of as Mr. Schultz was talking about earlier, in terms of you don't have to say, I totally believe everything you're saying, you just have to admit there's a risk.
When forests and landscapes are healthy, they drink in carbon. In fact, they can overcome emissions and are largely actually buffering now, having a harder and harder time doing it, but buffering now are aggressive over emissions globally.
An infrastructure bill is something I believe could get through Congress. It's something that the private sector is deeply behind because these are the infrastructure that moves their stuff.
Force the experts together. Stop this stuff of three agencies taking three different methodologies. Force them to do a unified methodology for measurement and monitoring and get on with it. In Paris, there was an underscoring of the importance of forestry and land use in the climate change world. In fact, for much of the developing world, their goals are all about land use and forestry.
We can also very much help the Earth heal itself and move away from this terrible climate change that we're entering into in a big way right now.